Hello everyone. Hope you're all okay. So, as I told you yesterday, today I'm going to be recording a guess the number game. So, as you can see, I'm on this website. We are going to be creating a game like this one. So, I don't want to just write. I want to be explaining everything along the way so that you can get something. So, on this game here, it welcomes you guess the number and win. So. Let me guess like number 5 and check. So oops, number is too low. That means it's around 7. Check. It's too low. Hey, 10. Check. Too low. Okay. Number input must be between 0 and 20. So we are going to create something like this. As we are seeing it working here, we are going to create this game here. So in programming, we have what we call pseudocode. We have what we call pseudocode, which helps in describing the steps that we are going to take in writing the program. And we have what we call flowcharts. So when we are creating such a game, you can use a flowchart to visualize very well the steps you're going to take when you are creating it. Or not, you can use pseudocode as an expert. So here, in creating this game here, I'm first going to draw a flowchart. So let me just put this here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a flowchart. So the first step here, when we are creating a flowchart, we have a few things we use. So right now is the start. Start. Then we proceed to the program here. When we are proceeding, it checks for a random number here. So let me just type the pseudocode. So number 1, when we are going to create our game, the first step we are going to do is we are going to welcome the user. Welcome the user. My keyboard is. So the first step is welcome the user. Welcome the user to the system. Welcome the user. Then the second step that we are going to take is we are going to generate a random number. After generating a random number, we are going to input the input of the user. User input. Then the fourth step that we are going to take here is going to be checking whether the number is right, high or low. So these are the steps that we are going to be taking. So in generating a random number in Python, we have what we have functions that we use. So the random number here that was generated is around 0 and 20. So we want to create something exactly like this. So before adding the flag again, checking how many chances the user has taken, we are going to first create something simple like this. Then these steps are going to be coming in. Like the fifth step is going to be checking number of times, number of guesses taken, and it will stop the user after certain number of guesses have been finished. And our sixth step will be allowing user to quit or flag. These are going to be our six steps. So the first step here is we are going to welcome the user. So welcoming the user, we have what we use. We have print statements. So a print statement allows you to display text to display text in the terminal or on the interpreter. So we are going to write print welcome to the game. Then the next step here we are going to generate a random number. So let me just go through it quickly. We are going to generate a random number here. So generate a random number. So in generating a random number in Python, we are going to import a random function here. So random functions come in, like there are some functions that come inbuilt in Python. So we are just on the basics. We are going to be learning everything. So this one here is an inbuilt function. The function is written like this, like random, whatever, and write other things. So random function, this random function is going to allow us to generate a random number that the user will have to import into the system. So generate a random number, then generate a random number and save it. So we have to generate it and save that number. So we are going to say the guess is equal to random. Run it, and we are going to say 0 and string. So this is how you write the random function. So let us proceed. The video is going to take long, just. So this one here we have used a variable. So a variable, when talking about a variable, so a variable can be anything. Anything can be a variable is like a basket. So we have this basket here. So this basket we want to put in our ball. This ball here. When we get this ball and put it in this basket, so it means that this basket has stored our ball. Or if we get a stick, this stick here, and put it here in the variable, and remove this ball here, it means that our basket has stored our stick. Our variable has stored our stick here. And a variable can store only one item. A variable can store one item at a time. That is how it works. So this variable called guess is storing a random number that is ranging from 0 to 20. So our next step here in writing our program is getting user input. So we are going to set user. So we are creating a variable for the user. So what you are seeing here, this is called a string. So user, we are going to say equals input. Let me just input username. Okay. No, I'm not going to do it like this because our program we are using doesn't have username. So I'm just going to say number is going to be equal to input. Say input your guess. Input guess. So after doing this, our next step is going to be checking whether the number is right, high or low. So to check this, we have what we call if statement. So like when you are writing a sentence that can go like this: if you give me a ball, I will give you. Then I will do this. Do dash. So that is how if statements work also in any language. So now our if statement is going to be like this: if number we have chosen here, this number here is less than the guess. You know what we are going to do? We are going to print too low. see. Then we are going to say else elif, because we have around three different options we have to select from. So we are going to use the elif. So if you have one option to select from, you just use those. So elif, we are going to say elif number is greater than guess. Then we are going to say print to hard. Then the last statement would be else. Then we are going to say print your right. Alright. So we are just going quickly. So don't forget to add these codes here when you're writing your program. These codes are when you're writing quick text. So this is a print function, and this is our string here. So we are going to first test our program quickly as it is right now with these few lines. Make sure that they are working perfectly well. Then we proceed to adding other things. So let us come here on tools and say build. So guess the number. I'm going to say number 3 and enter. Okay, we enter. Okay, let me just come here. Tools, build, guess number. Yes, number. I'm going to say 3. Enter. Okay. What do I got you? So guys, some client that will be there. So when you look at our source code here, we've done almost whatever we have written here in terms of things. And what I'm going to use, the command run our program here. Than using the other default command. So let's just drag small fonts. I'm going to use it to change. So I'm going to navigate to our desktop. Navigate to the folder that has our game and just type Python. Then get the file. So this is the file here. So right now it has welcomed us very well. It has asked us to input the guess. So in inputting the guess, I'm going to say like 4, then enter. So right now we have got an error. If number is less than guess, not supported between string and integer. So we have what we call strings. We have what we call, as I told you, this is a string, and a number like number 5, number 4, number 6, whatever numbers like this one, these are called integers. And numbers like 1.2, this is called a float. And this is a string. Something like this is a string. This is a string. This is a float. And this is an integer. So the error here is the error we are getting is not supported between string and integer, which means that one of these numbers here must be a string, but we are trying to compare a string with an integer. So you have to be, this is called debugging. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to this number and add just some line here, int, and add brackets here and also brackets here. So I've converted our input here immediately on this line here, number, integer, input. So I've just made this number into an integer. I've converted this into an integer by just adding this line. You could have done it like this, maybe write x equals int, then write number, but int brackets number. But this is writing expensive lines also, so you can just do it quickly like this one, like what I've done here. So after doing that, we are going to close this. We're going to save our program, come back here to our CMD, say Python. You're just going to, you can just use this direction buttons on your keyboard to quickly navigate. Just press enter. So input number, let me just set for number is too low. So our program is working perfect. Everything is working perfect. So let me just reduce here to maybe 3 so that we can get a guess somehow. Let me just make it 2. So let me come back here and Python. Okay. So input, yes, let me set 1, enter. 1 is too high. Okay. Let me just give it only 2 options. So let me come back here and just write CLS. So I'm just going to set, then let me just write 1, enter. Too high. Okay, so you are right. So it means we are getting all our options. We are getting the 2 high option, we are getting the 2 low option, we are getting your right option. So the program, our game, right now we have finished our guess the number game. So what is left is adding on these functionalities. So look at it a bit. Let me first pause it here. So hello guys, so let me conclude with this video today. So we have our program, it is running very perfect. It is running as we have identified. We needed it to welcome the user, it is doing it. We needed it to generate a random number, it is doing it. We needed it to do user input, it is doing it. And checking whether the number is right, high or low. So it is doing all that we wanted it to do. So I don't want this video to be so long. I'm just going to walk you through everything we have discussed about here in the video, just doing a summary. Then next time we'll meet. So we are going to meet and increase. We are going to add all these functionalities, the plugin, the range, we shall add them in. So just not to make the video long. So we have imported random. So a random is an inbuilt Python function. So to add this functionality of these inbuilt functions, you use the import and then the name of the function. So a print statement allows you to display text in Python terminal, or like what you have seen here. When I type, it prints, it shows, it outputs a text. So any word in Python that you write is called a string. As long as you add on these ones here, these quotes here, then it is a string. So we have what we call variables. As I told you, variables are like baskets. You get something and you store it inside the variable. As we have got our line here, we have come and stored it in our variable here. So that is a variable. So we went on and saved the number between 0 and 10 in our variable called guess. So whatever you name your variable, it is okay. Then the next thing we did is we got the number and we inputted the number. So the reason why we got the other error is Python, when it is inputting, it inputs everything as a string. It doesn't identify that it is word, it is number or word. It inputs everything as a string. That's why we had to add this if here to convert that string into an integer or into a number. Then we come here, we use the if statement. So this is called a statement. So like if this is this, then this. If this is this, then this. So if the number is lower than the guess, that means we are going to print too low. Else, so use else if you have more than 3 conditions you want to check, more than 2 conditions. But if there are only 2 conditions, you just write if and then write else. Then the next thing here is number greater than guess is too high, then else this. So we are going to proceed later, and we shall add all the other functionality to our program. So be well guys, and let us meet, I think, tomorrow.